Yeah.
All right, here we go. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of She Good People. My name is Kelsey Coop Charles. Along with me, I got West Coast Dave and Antonio Brother on Long. Fellas, it's been a minute. How we doing?
Doing good, bro. I don't know how it is in the great Northwest, but you better be glad you ain't home right now, Bo, because there ain't nothing but yellow clouds flying around here and it about to kill me. I done got old. I can't take this
Oh
pollen
man,
like I used to, bro.
No, we got it here.
I'm
Same
trying to
thing.
tell you.
It's the same because that part of the year is the same. We got that same pollen and all that. My nose and everything. Yeah, same thing is going on.
You
Yeah.
know, the funny thing, it used to be just your eyes and your nose. For me, it's bothering my skin, because I diabetic. So therefore, I ain't supposed to be in the sunlight. And as you can see, I got on sleeves because I keep myself
Yeah.
covered up this time, especially this time of year when it started to clear up. But Lord have mercy, it's about to kill me. But I'm looking forward to the night. Just got finished watching Gamecock ladies. Screw around and win a basketball game. Uh, I did want to see them play North Carolina as always, but they're going to end up playing Duke, so that should be a feisty game whatsoever. I know it ain't because if Duke only scored 47 against North Carolina, you're gonna
Man,
need more than that.
I don't know what.
Gamecocks.
Yeah, I watched part of that game today. I don't know what was worse. I mean, it just they looked like they just didn't know how to play ball on both sides, man. I mean, that was
And
an
the
ugly game
Warriors
today.
had an 11-0 lead
Right,
and still lost
Yes.
a
and still lost.
47-38 game.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
was up 11, and just think about if you span out the score, that's like 98%, right? To win.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
watched them. I watched Duke twice this year. I saw them early in the year when they played North Carolina the first time in Carmichael, and then I saw them in the ACC tournament against NC State. And I'm sitting there looking like, how are they winning? Because they beat Notre Dame, still ain't figured that one out. They beat North Carolina. I'm still and they beat NC State, and I'm like, okay, I don't see it yet, but they win in games. Gamecocks got to play better than they played today.
Yeah.
Shots just ain't falling in the first part of the game for the Gamecocks. They got to do a
Who
better
they
job.
play? Who did
The Gamecocks played
no, who they
Maryland.
play? No, I watched
Mer-
it. Hey, who they play next?
They played
Duke.
Duke.
I never call that name. I
Yeah,
never
I
call
know.
that
They
name.
play Duke.
So
Yeah.
They play Duke.
come on,
The
now I'm ready to watch some ball. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They play Duke. So that'll be Sunday afternoon. I think it's 3 o'clock, I think. All right. Uh this week on She Good Peoples, we just gonna go on into it. We don't have any community forum this week. As we've been doing the last few weeks, we just been sitting back and watching things unfold. So, there's nothing we can say. It's like, what
Mhm.
you want us to do, bro? I mean, y'all, this is what y'all asked for. Y'all can have it, okay? It don't bother us none because we used to it. So now that the rest of the population in the United States getting a chance to see what it's like, hey, yeah, y'all just got to deal with it, man. I mean,
I love, man. But one thing I do want to add, though, I love how Al Governor said, because Washington is a contributor
yeah,
to. He said, we're going to do everything opposite because we just won't send them a check. Washington State by itself is the eighth biggest economy in the world.
right.
And California is the fifth biggest. We are a net contributor. The governor said, fuck it, whatever. Okay, if this is what y'all want to do, we just ain't going to, we just won't send y'all the money. Because Washington is a contributor. All the people that actually voted for this those are the states that actually suck from the federal government.
Right.
All the states that give are the states that are actually, the resistance, I guess I call it. And like I said, Ferguson came on TV and said, we will continue everything. We'll do everything. And if stuff comes, if stuff has to fan, we won't send out check.
I mean, bro, it's really to a point right now where it's comical because the more I literally for the last let's remember this now. He's only been in for two months. Okay, we ain't even got the 3 months into this thing yet. Okay, uh, it's been so much stuff in 2 months. that you really got to sit there and be like, whoa, what more can he do? Because now I'm gonna tell you where it's really gonna fall apart. If next month those Social Security checks don't come, it's gonna be a problem. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be a problem.
For sure.
You know, because our parents and grandparents and stuff have paid into Social Security for all these years, and if it don't come on the 1st and the 15th,
and I'm mad because I want them to get a check because I paid into it for them to get a check.
well, I mean, I understand that.
Everybody who's supposed to get their check, get their check.
But my thing is gonna be the same people that you told that you wasn't gonna do nothing with it, and you kind of like told them a lie, and that pretty woman from California tried to tell y'all that was what he was gonna do. I'm just saying, it smell like a duck, quack like a duck. It's a duck, okay?
Crazy.
We gonna get off that. All right, let's get some laughs in this thing, man. All right, so we're going into, we've been doing top 10s on She Good Peoples. And before we get into that, 1 month away from the draft, 1 month away from the draft. So 44 Stack will be coming back in the next month for draft analysis. And we already see that the Cowboys, as usual, already starting off with a bang. So it's gonna be too good. It's gonna be too good. So this week's episode is top 10 sitcoms that we have seen. Now, I don't know about y'all. Had a hard time with this because I got 8 honorable mentions. That just how that, and I just stopped because they ain't counting everything. But I got 8 honorable mentions. All right, so I'm not even gonna say the honorable mentions until we get to the end. We'll start at number 10 as always. And I
want to add a caveat too. So I have a list like you, T. Now it breaks down though to laugh out loud funny, right? Versus the build up. And in every episode may not have been laugh out loud funny, but it was what I would say the cultural relevancy of it at the time. Because I have a list, and I like you, I had to go back and forth because there's certain sitcoms. Just as soon as I turn it on and I see a character, I'm gonna start smiling and laughing. And I'll tell you that as we go down our 10. And that's why it was so hard for me, because some of our favorite sitcoms that I know are going to be on the list, not every episode is laugh out loud funny, but it plays a very vital role in our lives, right?
Right, correct.
So that's why I'm interested. Let's commence.
All right. I like how you frame that. I like how you frame that, because that is the truth and nothing but the truth. Okay. All right. So we're gonna start with Dave, number 10.
So I fashioned my life after this cat for real. Michael P. Keaton, Family Ties. Dog, you know how I was about Michael P. Keaton, T. Hey, that was my man. If it was like Republican type, that is because it was that achieve, do your thing, no excuses, move on. And I'm kind of like that. I mean, I am a pull your bootstraps up, and then as help is needed, we come. So and the theme song, it's sung by goddamn Denise Williams. What would we do, baby, without us? Ain't no mountain we can't put each other through. What will we do, baby, without us? Shout it out. So number 10, Michael P. Keaton and Family Ties.
Okay, I can agree with that, because Michael P. Keaton was life-changing, because he was Michael J. Fox, man. I mean, Michael J. Fox to our generation represents a whole lot, because he gave us a whole lot of different movies before, unfortunately he got sick and couldn't do as like it used to. But had that not happened, Michael J. Fox would be one of the biggest, I believe, stars in Hollywood. Because for a short period from about 83 to 90, 92, somewhere in there,
Well, the sitcom was
The sitcom
with Heather Locklear.
Yeah.
That when he was the mayor or something.
When he was the mayor, yeah.
Okay,
yeah. That's when you first started with Parkinson's. But from about 83 to about 93, he was unstoppable. He was untouchable. He was the biggest star in Hollywood. And Family Ties gave us, what old girl boyfriend was, because he would kill me with Mallory.
Yeah, yeah, Nick
Yeah.
was his name, Nick.
Yeah, Nick was something, bro. Nick was something. Yeah, so I can agree with that. Family Ties was a favorite, so I can't say anything about that. Cooper Lou, what you got, bro?
Yes, sir. My number 10 is Rerun, Raj, Dwayne. What's happening? Because that was, you could relate to those guys. That was the crew. I mean, and then you also had D, the sister, always getting in trouble, always telling on everybody, ooh, I'm gonna tell mama. I mean, that was her all day long. I mean, Rerun with the dancing and everything, then Shirley at the diner. And also people don't realize, I think it was What's Happening Now. That's when we really got to know Martin before he really, really blew up. So, he got to start there and all that stuff. And it just showed, I like how it got rebooted because it showed from then till now, with the friends and all that stuff. And I just watched every episode so I can see Rerun get down and dance and all that stuff, And, I mean, if you look at them three friends, man, I mean, it was never a dull moment with those three. And I love the fact that Mama, even though she was a single Mama handled business. She didn't play. So that's my number 10.
Well, What's Happening always had those classic moments. Roger, give me your belt. I ain't wearing no belt, Mama. So Rerun took his belt off and gave it to Mama. Rerun belt was 4 times the size of Roger's belt. So that's a classic moment in TV history. He was just the prototypical baby sister, aggravated the crap out you. Dwayne,
or this younger sibling in general. I mean, that was her.
Right. Dwayne was the dumb friend because we all had that one friend. You had to look at him when he say something like, huh?
And but Dad, city council was actually an elected official.
Yeah. And the was already the catchphrase. And of course, Rerun with the popping and locking. That's a classic. And but Raj dance was a classic too now because Raj couldn't dance worth nothing.
Well, let's take this back to our top 10 R&B segments.
Yes.
I mentioned him in my top 10.
Yes.
Michael McDonald brothers. First time I knew what bootleg. I didn't even know what the hell a bootleg was until it drops out of Rerun's overcoat, trench coat at the car. And man, the way they him up Sweet Daddy, because me. Yeah. The way they end up him up Sweet Daddy coming out that bathroom in the diner when one come out. Yeah, that's the classic episode. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with What's Happening. What's Happening always going to be great. All right, my number 10 is more of a newer type sitcom, but it's one of the funniest sitcoms you ever will see in your life. And it hits home because I am this type of person. I'm a nerd. I let anybody know that. And just be honest, The Big Bang Theory is one of the most ridiculous shows ever made. Mm-hmm. Sheldon Cooper is by far the dumbest man on TV. Genius. He's a genius, but he will have you die laughing. And I've watched them so much is that if you pay attention to the stuff on the side, not the real stuff that's going on, there's more funny stuff going on that nobody really paid attention to when it was going on. And you realize they really is dumb, man. They really are. Raj, that's another Raj.
Yeah.
Howard, Sheldon, Leonard, Penny, and then if you watch them as they got older, it stopped being about, just like how the Simpsons was when it first started. It was all about Bart, and then it became about Homer. Same thing with this here. It was about Howard, and it was about Leonard and Sheldon, but then it became about Bernadette, and Bernadette is a fool. Okay.
Yes, she is.
A straight fool. Bernadette is that little feisty little something, but you don't nobody cross her because everybody's scared of her.
She is in one of my newer favorite sitcoms I watch, the reboot of Night Court.
Reboot of Night Court.
And the reboot of Night Court, I don't know if y'all looked at it, man. The episode where Roz comes back and Dan leaves and becomes the judge in New Orleans, and Roz gets arrested, and she comes before Dan, and she like, man, what the heck? Get me the hell out of this. You got to see it, man. The new Night Court is a undercover gem. It is because the black girl, Carisha, that's the new bailiff, she funny as hell. The black dude who is also, I don't know if Molly and he was the waiter, the black waiter, not the cop. And Molly and the lady who went on to make movies, Molly and the dude made movies. He went on to make movies. The two big white people.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about.
Molly, you know that, yeah. Him. He's funny too, because he was funny as the waiter in that show. Yeah. And the mom was a straight hoe in that show. She was. I mean, seriously.
She was getting up off it.
Hey, you come up in that room, and she owned you.
Getting up off it, bro. That's how it always was. That was it. That was it. Man, so we starting off good. Had nobody cross, I think it get closer as we get closer to number 1. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna go on and kick off number 9. Just classic moments, man. Gave us probably one of the greatest TV fathers of all time in Uncle Phil. Gave us one of the greatest sidekicks in a comedy with Carlton. I'm talking about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, man. I mean, you can't, that's true comedy. You can't get no better than that. Will played a great role, but the ancillary characters on Fresh Prince is what made Fresh Prince great. Jazz is comedy, is just comedy incarnate. Aunt Viv, whichever one you like, Redbone or Dark Skin. Aunt Viv was always Aunt Viv. Jeffrey, if I ever get rich, I want me a butler like Jeffrey. Just pop in, say a few words, and walk right out. That's what you want. Hillary Banks is always going to be that girl for us, just like Lisa Bonet. Hillary Banks was always going to be that girl. Ashley, Ashley grew up, but it was Ashley. She never really did anything other than when she was singing that time. It had Carlton and Will dancing behind her. But But Uncle Phil is always gonna be great. Like I said, he's one of the best TV fathers of all time. Uncle Phil. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, my number 9.
Okay, all right.
Take it, Coop.
My number 9 is a spin on I guess the church. I used to like to watch this show all the time. But my favorite number 9 was Amen.
I knew it.
That was my show. With Deacon Fry, Thelma, the Reverend. But the one that made the show to me was Riley Forbes.
All right.
Riley.
Hey. Riley was something, boy.
Hey, Riley was something, wasn't it?
Riley had you died.
I'm telling you, man. It was
and these shows came on Saturday night. They kept you on TV at 8:30. Imagine how much
you was home. You was home.
8:30 at night to watch TV.
You was home. But the thing about Amen, man, that was church, man. That was all behind the scenes church. I mean, everybody could relate to those characters, man. It's just, a lot of people, especially like in today's society, people, they look down on the church, they take the church, they take everything just literally. I mean, but that show right there showed you, the flip side. Now when we was growing up going to church, man, Big Mama, you said about Big Mama, you say anything, she gonna pinch you and hand you that mint or whatever. You never saw that side, but but for me, Amen was just funny because I mean, just you just saw that side of things, with the back and forth between Deacon Fry and what's called it, and then like I said, Riley and them ladies, man, it made my night, man, just watching that show.
The cool thing about Amen is because a lot of times when you have one great sitcom, you never get two. And Sherman Hemsley, his two iconic roles is George Jefferson and Deacon Fry. And I mean, and they were so opposite of what they were as characters, but he fit so good because he was a shiesty lawyer, being a shiesty deacon, you know. And on the Jeffersons, you know, he was moving on up. You know what I mean? So it was always that thing. Funny. I mean, some of the funniest shows on Amen was just, well, really real life. This is what happens in the church, really. You know,
exactly.
Because it be some foolishness sometimes. You know. Oh, I need somebody good to come sing at my choir. I'm gonna bring Nell Carter and I'm gonna act like I like her. I remember when she pick him up and drop him off.
Please stop naming people, man, because every time you name somebody, you messing up my top 10 list.
Damn, man, but it's like that, dog. It's like that.
Every time you name it, because I remember, and I'm like, man, how this ain't in the top 10?
Yeah.
Because
I know nobody already got this in the top 10.
Like
I'm gonna go out.
It was gonna be hard. I told you it was gonna be hard.
Yeah.
I know none of y'all ain't got this in the top 10, so I'm gonna say this. Give Me a Break was the shit.
Who? I'm telling you.
Hey,
man,
I know nobody ain't got it, but every time he say a name, he flipping me back to these sitcoms, and I'm like, it ain't in the list.
But let me tell you about Give Me a Break.
And then you,
which version was the better one? When they were young and in California, or when they got older and they was in New York?
I like the dynamic between her and Nell later.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that because it was more grown comedy.
Okay.
And I kind of like that dynamic. I like both of them, T, because I think it naturally led. It because they had a progression. You know how the famous Jump the Shark is it come from, you know, when the fall it went down. I think that one had a natural, the kids got grown.
Kids got grown.
And then Nell came. Yeah, I like both of them.
Yeah.
Well, it's just not the little Joey.
Now, back in the day when they was in the California, now the Chief was funny as I don't know what. Him and Simpson, them were two fools, and they were police. You know what I'm saying? That's when we used to love the police. Now I know that boy ain't got no Hong Kong food hat on, but anyway,
sir. I'm a man.
Yeah. That's another one, Scatman Crothers. Oh, we get into that. Number 9, Dave. Who you got?
All in the Family.
Woo!
Okay.
Me and Tip just watched the episode last night when they met for the first time at dinner. Remember? She couldn't say no. Edith couldn't say no, and she set up the dish. I didn't know what to do. I love that because people see Archie, but when George came on, it was back, and George had the actual money. One of the things was they said, man, you let them move. He said, what is it? Because he called the names. He said, you gonna let these spooks move in this neighborhood? And he said, and then Meathead said, what? And bring the property value down? Dog, that was, I love how they all used to go up the Pollock, the white people. He ain't, like I said, that I like comedy that's uncut and raw and say it because remember, you have the right to say something back. Just as Jasmine Crockett called Texas Governor Hot Wheels. You say the same shit they saying to you.
Yep.
You can't be holding lines because it's that whole being all copacetic and nice. He is Governor Hot Wheels, and I got a track for him. It's called the Disability Track. Right there.
All in the Family. People don't even realize how strong a character Archie Bunker is. Not because of how racist he was, but just Archie was what America was at that time. Hey, Edith! Look at the Jeffersons.
He called his wife Dingbat.
He called his wife Dingbat. Had no respect for her, loved her to death, but had zero respect for her. He called his son-in-law Meathead. And Gloria, now, one thing I can say about Archie loved Lionel. He really loved Lionel.
Exactly. And that episode you see, because when he had to break it off, he couldn't do it to Lionel. Right. He had to call and tell a lie that Edith had her ankle broke.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He really loved Lionel. He had something. Now him and George, that was just comedy history. That's all that is. That's just comedy history. The years of Archie Bunker and George Jefferson going back and forth. You know, you can't get beyond that at any point in your life. But if you sensitive, you can't watch them shows, man, because back then
No,
they was off the chain. You know,
they
stuff
touched on
that you
everything.
can't even get away with on TV now, you could get away with back in the 70s. And it used to be the funniest stuff. And we could laugh at each other. And that was the thing that made us better. Because we could laugh at each other. Archie Bunker is a classic.
But that's what comedy is in general, though. And during that golden era, that's what they embraced. I mean, with stand up back in the day, you could say whatever, do whatever. But nowadays, everything is censored. But yeah, shows like that,
man.
and
Everything.
Maude and the Jeffersons, all those shows. Man, I'm telling you, you touch on anything.
But think about that run. Think about that run. What you just said. Just from out of one show, you had 5 spinoffs out of one show. You know, you had Maude, you had All in the Family, you had the Jeffersons, you had Florence for their own show. You know, you had Mike and what's called getting their own show out of it. Then you finally finished up with Bunker's Place, which Edith was gone and everybody else was gone. It wasn't as funny as it should have been.
I think that was more going for trying to capture that you had a little kid on the show. Remember the little and everybody had a little kid. And I think that was to embrace that, you know, that little kid movement.
And then I forgot the other two. You spun off, you had the Jeffersons, but you also spun off and you had Good Times come out of that.
Yeah. Because Good Times came out of Maude.
Florida came out of Maude. That's just one, I mean, just perfect example of back then you built on everything that you had. Because back then, most of your shows were 30-minute sitcoms. A lot of your shows were not dramas at that point. Dramas didn't become good until probably late 70s, early 80s, when you had Charlie Daniels, Dallas, Falcon Crest, Dynasty. You know, that's when they got good.
Yeah.
All right, number 8. My number 8 is started in the early 90s. It helped transform Thursday nights after the Cosby Show was going down. The emergence of Martin at the time. Followed it up. You needed something to come good at 8:30. We had Living Single. That's my number 8. Living Single. The precursor.
Friends.
I'll go on and say it. The precursor to Friends, because Friends copied everything about it.
Friends before Friends. Yep.
You know, you had the two fellas living together. You know, one is an investment banker, the other is a handyman. Then you had the 3 ladies. Regine, everybody knew a Regine, everybody knew a Sinclair,
and
everybody knew a Khadijah, and everybody knew a Max. And Max. Oh boy, Max. Maxine Shaw, Ride the Maverick. I still remember that. That was great. So yeah, Living Single is my number 8. And shout out to him. Still played to this day and still good. Still funny as I don't know what. And we'll continue to be.
Yep. In the words of Overton. Yep.
All right, number 8, Dave.
Jeffersons.
All right.
Jeffersons is right there. You know, we already said it. The spinoff to me was better than All in the Family. George was the first rich black man I can remember on TV. I mean, y'all help me out, but I don't remember a rich black dude coming from the ghetto. I'm saying made it from Harlem by himself and like because you know they did all the flashbacks of how he grew up.
Yeah.
I have never seen a person with that background make it and be rich. You know, can't remember that. You got one T, you got one because I can't remember a rich black person on TV besides him.
Not coming up like that.
This is my dumb moment. It ain't came up like that, but Sweet Daddy had money, man. But anyway,
I
digress.
Yeah. Sweet ain't no money not on the book.
Hey, bro.
No. Yeah, Sweet Daddy made his money other way.
Sweet, Sweet ran the ghetto. You know what I mean? He ran the ghetto. But yeah, Dave, you're right.
So George gave he gave everybody. He gave the hood cat something to inspire to, the middle class cat, because he was from the hood.
He was from the hood.
Middle class cat, and he never changed who he was.
No. And he didn't take no trash from nobody.
And never changed who he was to be. I always say, if you change who you are, no matter where you work or do whatever, you are lost in yourself. Of course, you got to be corporate. You got to do your thing, but don't lose who you are, regardless.
Right.
That's right. Now, one thing I can say about George Jefferson, even though he acquired his money. Now, think about it now. All them years, 7 locations, one near you.
One near you.
He was always going up against Blue Sky Cleaners and Cunningham Cleaners. You know what I'm saying? But George was holding his own, you know what I mean? So obviously he did good work. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you know, George learned. Now, George didn't have a high school diploma, but George learned how to play the game, and he learned how to work the stock market. And George made a lot of money. All George money was not dry cleaner money. George money was in, he learned how to play the stocks, learned how to do whatever. Now, George, from a business standpoint, untouchable. You couldn't do nothing with it. Now, from an everyday standpoint, he left a lot to be desired, but that's what made George what he was, man.
But he had his balance with what's it called, Florence. Florence kept him grounded.
Florence kept him grounded, and I would probably say, you know, who don't get enough credit, you know, for keeping him grounded is Tom and Helen Willis, man. Because they never let George, as much as George could have been, they never let George forget. You know, you still George Jefferson now. They always kept that to him, you know, because you know Tom had money. Tom had money before he got married.
Yeah.
So,
Tom remind me of Chris
Tom
Rock.
had a mean 2-step too.
But Tom reminded me of what Chris Rock said. I'm this famous actor. I think it was on Big. He said, I'm this famous actor, but in my neighborhood, my next door neighbor, one is a dentist, one a doctor. He said, see, white people make money. White people get regular jobs and can become rich. We ain't gotta become, you want to say we ain't gotta become rich by becoming superstars. Right. But what he just said, this dude's a dentist. This dude got a construction company. Just like I tell you, if you go look at the billionaire list outside of tech people, you know, you ain't gonna know none of them that you see in there. Like the dude who just bought the Celtics.
Yeah.
I ain't never heard that dude in my life.
I never heard of him until he bought the Celtics.
$40 billion.
Yeah.
Ain't never heard of him.
He been low key for the longest. Never heard of it. But
that's where you want to be.
When he decide he gonna buy the Celtics, okay, now we know who he is.
Let's make some noise now. Yeah.
You can't go wrong with that, and that's understandable because you think about it. George moved from Queens with Archie to a high-rise apartment in Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? He moved up. Yeah. George is actually living in a penthouse, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, nobody don't give it that because it wasn't a penthouse like Mr. Drummond's on Different Strokes, but you know, it was a penthouse.
Penthouse in the sky. I mean, the way they sung it penthouse to me. Hey, it was better than my trailer.
Well, but
apartment.
It was a penthouse for me.
Penthouse apartment. But see, the difference was like Mr. Drummond's on had upstairs and downstairs in here. You know what I'm saying? But see, Tom and Helen and them, all of them living in penthouses. You know, because remember, Weezy and Helen didn't work. They went to the help center.
Yep.
Help center.
Volunteer.
Help center.
Sure did.
Cool. Who you got for number 8, brother?
Cheers. Great American Classic.
Hey, Kels, I listened to the whole theme song the other day. If that ain't a sad story, it said when your third fiance left you, and when you find out your husband wants to be a girl. Man, that is a sad ass song, dog.
But if you think about it, though, Dave, think about Cheers from its inception until it went on.
Oh yeah,
you had that.
Yeah, all of
it was the dumbest thing in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
you think about it, man. With Cheers, it was like the next best thing to the barbershop. You had the bartender, you got your locals. You had the bartender, Woody and all them, and Ted. They come in there, you know, you got a lot of stuff going on, but I mean, that was therapy for them back in. Like you said, man, it was depressing, but yeah, you had the therapy in you. So
the thing about it for me was, if I had a bar, I would actually want it to be like Cheers, man. I don't want it to be where it's gonna be sports because it's us, but at the same time, I want you to come in, everybody know your name when you walk in. Afternoon, everybody. No.
Exactly.
You know what, man? Yeah. If y'all ever do, we have an official Cheers here. So if you ever come, we used to go every kind of happy hour. We used to go like Cheers. It's called Cheers.
That's
with the same sign and everything. It's Cheers.
That's the kind of thing I would want. because to me, that's the neighborhood bar. You know, that's how the neighborhood
it's
bar
just like
is.
Cheers too, y'all. But it's sports. It got all sports.
Right.
Upstairs, you go play pool. And you know, whatever they had upstairs at Cheers, I don't know where it was.
It was Melville's. You had to go up there to eat.
Yeah.
You went upstairs to eat at Melville's.
Yeah. So they eat. They got, you can eat up both upstairs and downstairs. And then they got a bunch of games. But it's a bar. It's like Cheers. It's the same signage and everything. So I don't know if that's a licensed thing that you can do if you whatever, but yeah.
Well, I know some of the funniest Cheers was when they were going against Gary's Old Town Tavern. That was always funny. I would probably go better with this here. Cheers was fine when it was Coach and Carla and Diane and Sam, but it took a step up when Woody came.
Exactly.
And when Rebecca came, because it did get stupid. Miss Howe was funny. Okay. Rebecca got herself in all kind of mess, and Sam, you know, Sam kind of calmed down, but at the same time, there's three people I love back in the day. Sam Malone, Dan Fielding, you know, you couldn't help but like them two, because that's all they was worried about. And Jack Tripper, that was my third one. Okay. You could not help but love them three characters, man, because they were three of the best characters of all time. So I'll go into my number 7 because it's Cheers. My number 7 is Cheers. And like I said, Cheers was when we used to watch TV like that. I mean, it was your 9 o'clock show after. And see that back then, NBC was killing you on Thursday night because you get the Cosby Show, you had Family Ties before Different World. Then you had Cheers at 9 o'clock, and then at 9:30 you had Night Court, which is dumb as I don't know what.
Yes.
Night Court. So Cheers, everything you said about it, love it. Still watch it to this day. Comes on at 4 or 5 in the morning on Hallmark. Still funny as I don't know what, bro.
Yeah, and look at it. That's all-star cast too. I mean, think about the cast.
All of them were stars.
Real
That's
perfect.
what I
Exactly.
My favorite episodes is Rhea Perlman and what the crazy ass husband name was, a hockey player.
Eddie LeBeck.
Because he was just like Ernest T. Bass when he came down and threw rocks. Like, when he got on, he causing havoc like Ernest T. Shout out Andy Griffin. You ain't in my top 10, but man, if you ain't shaped my whole childhood from the whistle, because if I wasn't in that house, Margaret was coming for my ass. If Daddy like my Pat's house, you know that trailer right above the dirt road thing. If I wasn't making the Pat's trailer in that light when that whistle started, hey, let me hold your belt. If I ain't had one, here go Elder. Hey, Margaret, you can use my belt. That's Elder. Belt. Shout out to Ernest T. Band.
I'm gonna get me a brand new uniform.
Oh man, that dude I mean, he invented 0 to 100 real quick. Say something he ain't like. You damn it, all your windows busted out.
But you got to remember this too. On Andy Griffin, Andy was textbook of what a police officer should be. Even though maybe he didn't have any problem, but he was textbook of what a police officer should be.
He was textbook, but Andy Griffith don't work if Barney ain't there, man. Because you need that. Barney is the opposite. Because Barney took stuff too far, man.
Judy.
Oh, Goober.
Oh man.
And Floyd, is that right?
Yeah.
And boy, you can sit there. Now that is one show I could truly say. If it started in the morning, you can watch it all day and you be fine. And you ain't got to worry about it. Because now, for me personally, after Barney left, I stopped watching Andy Griffith because it wasn't as good. It was still funny, but it wasn't as good. Because Barney was my man. Because Barney, I got to go over here to the diner there, Ann. I gotta go see Juanita.
Man, I started watching his horror movies. Like, the horror movies, but like the ghost that chase, them things. I got 4 of them, man. He is just a fool in them movies. And what's the one with Disney movie when he
the Apple Dumpling Game?
That's it, the Apple Dumpling
Game.
Yes.
Him and Tim Conway. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but him and Tim Conway will have you about to die because Tim Conway is dumb. And have everything that even with everything with Don Knotts, because even when he played Furley on Three's Company, Furley was. It's hard to say that you're funnier than Roper, because Roper will have you dying. Because Roper will say something and look at the TV and make you bust out laughing.
That's that laugh out loud funny. And see, that's like you see certain people. That's why the sitcoms be hard to grade. Because you see these certain cats and on site, I'm ready to laugh.
Yeah, because you know for yourself. When Furley started this, like he couldn't breathe. You got to go. Especially when he gets scared. Oh my God. Number 7, Dave.
Wayans Brothers. I love the Wayans Brothers. I know it's low end comedy, but when them two and Dad get together, and man, that time when he was running for office and he had that little stripper or whatever that girl, and they played that music, that booty music, and she just started that and Pop get off. Man, the Wayans Brothers, that is laugh out. Like every episode, I am going to find a way, or there's going to be a scene to make me laugh out loud. So the crazy thing is, I didn't appreciate it when it was on. I'm gonna tell you when I got on the Wayans Brothers. I think when the boys were maybe teenagers, because it just came on at night, right? And you just start watching it, and then I didn't roll one, right? And then it just became funnier as the time went on, and boom, we had it being number we got 7 in my list.
Yeah, number 7. You on number 7. All right, Coop, number 7.
My number 7 was the Jeffersons. I know we already touched on it, but that was my number 7. George and Wheezy, and Florence has made the show because she didn't take no mess off of George. Those two, those 2 seasoned actors, when they bounce off each other, to me, that has made the show.
I mean, Marla Gibbs and Sherman Hemsley, man. I mean, that's classic. That's right up there with Uncle Phil and Jeffrey.
And Fred and Esther.
And look
she didn't get. I don't think she got the credit that she deserved during that time. But I mean, she's a very underrated actress. But I mean, she's great. She's great.
When she went to 227, I think that's when she hit her stride.
Yeah, for sure.
Another Saturday night sitcom that you sat home and watched because it was 227.
I still watch it.
Yeah.
Especially with Morris Day when he's the prince and he come try to marry
Brenda.
Try to marry Brenda, man. Hey, Morris Day funny.
Morris Day always been funny.
Get the hell out of him.
Yeah. Morris Day always been funny. All right, my number 6 showed us what college life was all about and made us all want to go to a HBCU. We talking about a different world and the iconic performances from a different world. Different World gave us everything. It gave you Gladys Knight. It gave you Heavy Duty the Boys, Dwayne Wayne, Whitley Gilbert,
Piccolo,
Ron,
Piccolo.
Piccolo showed up. Piccolo was smooth as I don't know what, called a little boy church boy. But it's just the point of it showed because if you think about it, it showed you everything that we aspired to be growing up. If you go get your education, do what you needed to do, this will lead you to X, Y, Z. It also showed that if you go to school and you ain't getting what you need out of school, here's your alternatives that what you're going to end up going to. Because Ron thought, now his daddy wanted him to graduate so he can take over the car business, but Ron didn't want to do that.
Super student. That's it.
Yeah, Ron stayed in school. Ron redshirted about 5 years, man, because he actually started his freshman year was when Denise and them came. So that go all the way to the beginning of the show. Yeah. But Ron's still in school.
Still there.
Still in school. It gave us Sinbad classics. I mean, everybody on that show. And everybody on that show is a
that episode.
It gave what, D?
Remember Billy D had that episode where he stopped the old boy from beating he was hitting on that girl, and Billy D was the landlord of the house they was renting out. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Billy D.
Mr. Gaines. I mean, come on, bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey.
One of the greatest wedding episodes of all time. Please. I mean, come on, man. To this day, you know, and then now that you hear them talk about it, you talking about, man, we did all that ad lib.
Hey, what Diane Curl said to Dwayne Wayne, why don't you just die? Can you die? I mean, the way she said die, she said, could you just die?
And how do you get your mamas on this show is Diane Carroll and Patti LaBelle? Come on, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
Come on, man. What the disgust when he came up to get with her, the disgust when she said, would you just die? Just die.
That a different world. You could watch some shows you see is like time period shows. A different world is the same stuff that go on with that college right now, man. Ain't nothing changed.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing changed. You either gonna get it or you ain't gonna get it. Period.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what a different world was all about. And I mean, just classics. Whitley Gilbert, and nobody gives this woman the credit that she deserves. Jasmine Guy deserves so much credit for her portrayal of Whitley Gilbert because flawless. It was always flawless. To have that voice, and if you actually listen to that Jasmine Guy, it is the opposite end of the spectrum when she talks. To have that voice and never break, come on, man.
Yeah.
Because even some of the stuff she said, you know, in the show, sometimes you like, man, you ought to have been dying laughing, you know, because of how she said it. You know, so that's always been the thing. All right, Coop, number 6.
Same, different world for the same reasons. I mean, you had an all-star cast. I mean, it just gave you that college experience, something to aspire to versus the negativity. And that's one thing I would credit Bill and the writers for and the creators of this show. You know, it was something positive for everybody to aspire to. You know, you had so many stars to come through that, you know, and that you learn, even like you all talking about with the episode of with the domestic violence episode. The best thing I remember, the one thing I remember off that episode was Mr. Gang. Hey, he keep what did he say? His cousin or something like that. I love my cousin to death. You know, I mean, those gems, those nuggets you put in there. Then you had Tupac on there, you know. And then Marissa Tomei. I mean, you had so many stars on that show, but in the show, it pretty much captured every type of person that you would actually see on a campus. You had Kim, smart, you know, just caught everything real quick. The awkward friend. You had Winnie. So I mean, just to me, that for the same reasons, that was a great show.
I'm gonna be honest. When Thad and Zyra was going to Benedict, that was kind of like a different world at that point because you had all of those characters. Because I've met every type of person that was portrayed in there during that time when they was at Benedict. I actually saw those type of people when I went to South Carolina State when Dave and them was down there. I just didn't spend as much time down there. I'd go pick them up, but you know, it was a little different back then. You know, but that's how it got down because everybody knows somebody. When you go to college, I'll say this here because when you go to college, you meet so many different people with different backgrounds. That is one of the positives that comes out of going to school. You get to see some things that you ain't normally used to. You get to see big city people come to the country to go to school. Country folks, first time coming to the university and stuff like that. You see that diversity and it helps you understand everybody's struggle is different.
Yeah. And perspective, like you said, like when Whitney first got there, you know, once you actually live and come outside of that shell, that box that you're in, it shows you can't always stay the same. You have to change and evolve. Because Whitney came in, nobody liked Whitney. But by the time she left, I mean, still a lot of people didn't like her, but you know, her whole personality, her perception had changed.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Number 6, Dave.
Same damn thing, different world. So going to and graduating from a HBCU, you're right. And I have me and Hut are Dwayne, Wayne, and Ron. I started, and Hut was a marathon. Come on, T. That didn't work my life. I mean, you think about it. Me and Hut are Ron and Dwayne Wayne.
Yes.
I mean, come on. That is Hut is my and if you talking about two different people, me and the dude Kels that was on the thing, he and I are the two most different people. You like we don't life ain't gonna help, but that's my dog. He would die for me, and I would die for him. But you talk about we are two totally separate people, and we respect each other for it. We don't. But Hut was a marathon student, graduated though. He did graduate with a degree. Took him 10 years. Got a degree in criminal justice. Me, I went for 4 years and got 2 degrees, and you know, at state, and it's just that state was the pledging. My wife is a Delta, Cherry, all that was going on around me. I never did it because, like you said, that background. I was in the military first. I became a Mason in Germany. I wasn't doing none of that after that. I wasn't going to line up for the things that you lined up for at 22. You know, so I was 22 when I started college because I had did 4 years in the military. So I'm a cat going to get, you know, me and T going to there and all that stuff. So you just have so many diverse backgrounds and folks, and folks also don't know how many generals and colonels we put into the military, HBCU.
A lot.
It's incredible the amount of civil service teachers, the service, all of that come from HBCUs. But yeah, it had. I mean, the reason why I went to state is because of different world. I mean, all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say now, Dave, you ain't never lied. You and Hut, y'all are Dwayne, Wayne, and Ron.
He always was more scheme. I'm telling him, dude, I'm gonna tell you how this gonna turn out. And we are two.
You know, now I wasn't fortunate enough to go to HBCU, but I spent a lot of time at HBCUs because of my friends and my cousins. I would tell anybody when they were at state, I had the most perfect time of my life because we learned so much at that point. We got introduced to so much at that point. It was, I mean, I tell anybody one of the best trips we ever made was when we went to Greensboro for the game with A&T, and we left on Friday. We left on Friday. We got back Sunday sometime. But boy, the 36 hours was a ball, okay?
That year, me and Skeet had it south. Me and him. Once everybody cleared out, I told you 8 stayed in there. And then it ended up being me and Tip and Skeet.
Yeah.
Some nights, me and Skeet would roll, turn on the Dukes of Hazzard at 11 o'clock. And just, man, me, Skeet, and Tip. Me and Skeet passing the blunt across the bed. That year, and not only that, me and Skeet had a routine academically. Like when me and him stayed, like I had Skeet, man, we was on a roll. I mean, a roll at the end of life hit, you know. But we were on at that sophomore year when we ended up at South, and it was me, and then stopped, and it was me, Tip, and Skeet, man, we had a ball. We had a ball. Yeah. We went from 10 people staying in a twin bed hotel room to
bruh, when I think when y'all moved over to the house, it got worse, man, because y'all.
No, the house was remember the house was before that.
House was after.
No, before
after y'all left South.
No, after we left South, remember Skeet couldn't come back to school. Skeet didn't come back.
Yeah, because Asia.
Exactly. South was the last time we was all. He made me have to move into Club Hoochies. And that was, how did I graduate that last 2 years? Man, I still, again, Kel, me and Hut, this dude running a strip club in college, and I'm trying to go to college. Yeah.
Well, it has been, I'm glad we didn't have phones back then. I just say
exactly,
those phones would have got us in trouble back then because we were.
I'm telling y'all now, man. We're gonna have to get together. We're gonna change the names.
I don't know if we
this
can
is
do
gonna
it,
be the
man.
best man all over again. We're gonna write this book. We're gonna change the names. We're gonna put this out.
Bruh, I'm
It's
gonna
gonna
tell
be
you
number
like
one
this
seller.
here. From freshman year at Fairfield Central High School to this fool graduated at South Carolina State. That's about a what? A 12-year period. That's a
Yeah.
12-year period. It's so many stories that it's
There's so many
ridiculous.
stories.
So
We
many
can do it.
stories, man. And
We can do a series of novels. We're gonna do
it's one of those things, man. If just the conversations getting to the stories is enough to make you die, boy. Because you're gonna be like,
shit
"Hey,
that
yo,
like you would never think can happen.
Mhm.
And dude, it happens. Like I told you, me and Skeet across the world. How we end up at Fort Jackson getting the Article 15 at
both
the
of them,
same time.
both of them,
Yeah, that was
bro.
crazy.
It's so funny. Skeet used to call me on Friday, yo, come get me. I said, you got leave? Nah.
Get in the car. He used to come on base, Kel, at Fort Jackson. We waited at PX. Hey, we right there. Me and Skeet both jump in the car, headed back to Ridgeway with T. See, because I wasn't in, I was actually a regular, like,
He was a regular soldier. Skeet was in the reserves.
No, I was still in the regular military at the time. But I was trying to get kicked out. That's when I went AWOL and I worked at the Waffle House for a week. And I went back and them dudes only gave me extra duty. I'm like, man, I had a full job. And y'all ain't gonna try to, yeah, see that. So that's what
It was different. It was different back then, man.
And that's when I told him, man, I will kiss you right now. And that was it for me in the military.
That got him. He was out.
Don't ask, don't tell. I told him. He said, man, what make me think? Hey, Kel, the general said, man, the colonel, what make me think you ain't using this to get out? I said, man, I kiss your ass right now. Out. That was it. Last day in the middle. 2 days later, I was out. Honorable discharge, everything. Because they created double jeopardy, right? That was don't ask, don't tell. So if you told,
right.
Got my $75,000 for college. My check came in, support everybody. But yep, I was let me think of the one I can say. I was the old boy off of Designing Women.
Meshack.
I still remember that day. He said, I said, man, I'll kiss your ass right now. That was it.
Oh, God.
That was it for me. Me have done some things.
Oh, the stories, man. The stories.
Because they were trying to send me to Panama. I said, shit, you ain't sending me to no damn Panama. I can show you better than I can tell you.
Oh, the stories. The stories. I'm telling you. Look, that's a small piece, bro. I'm telling you, it gets worse. It gets worse.
I was a teacher for 2 years with a teacher certificate I made myself.
Number 5.
Bruh, he ain't lying.
Right?
Number 5.
I got, remember, they used to bring the credit report to the
I don't even want to know.
Remember, they didn't request it. Remember that?
Yeah.
Used to go,
but you changed lives, though. That's all.
Hey, man, I made my own goddamn credit report. I got the first Dakota. See?
Bruh, look. Look, man, bro. Yeah. I mean,
hey, what Biggie say? Bring some weed. I got a story to tell. One of them 6'5" cats. Yeah.
Boy. Woo, boy. Look.
Oh man.
Man, we look. I told Kelsey. I told you when this fool said he wanted to be on. There's some stories. I'm like, bro. I'm glad statute of limitations is out.
Hey, another one. My first tech job, right? Hewlett Compact in Colorado. Lady called. I went up there, got it. Then she said, go pee. You got the job. Then she said, call back. You know why you got THC? Why this came THC? Bitch, I just smoked an hour ago. I didn't know y'all was gonna give me this job today. I wasn't expecting the day. You didn't even give me no time to do nothing.
Honesty is the best policy.
Lost my first tech job to pissing hot. And still ended up at Microsoft.
Look here.
Great thing about that, I stopped smoking for 3 years. Microsoft come and call it. I'm ready too, Kels. Man, when we pissing. Man, we don't piss here. Yep, where's the bag? Yep, it's time to hit the street. I'm like, man, for 3 years, I missed the sweet smell of Chiba for nothing. Ugh.
Boy, I tell you, yeah, we got to get these stories. We got to get involved.
Look here, between South Carolina State and Microsoft and Skeet and them in the Army and us at DuPont, bruh.
Oh, and then the DVD conglomerate we had. Remember when I was making DVDs, sending them back to the house? Man, I was killing cat. I found this China site with the DVDs with 5 cents. Man, I would drop my thing down to $1. I was the first Netflix. They sent me 3. I'm talking about back in 2001. They sent me 3. I burned them. I send them back. Man, I flooded the hood with DVD and laptops. Cause thank you, Western Union.
Yeah, bruh. I mean, hustling. Look at bro.
Yeah, that was some days right there.
No, we're not gonna call it hustling. He's had the entrepreneurial spirit. There we go.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
And look here, we all money ain't always been good money, but it been money. Okay.
In that American way.
Hey, that's what we do. We like the Rockefellers, baby. We keep it rolling.
That's it.
All right, my number 5. Martin, man. So that tell you right there, 4 through 1 must be killer. Because Martin, there is nothing on TV like it. When it came out, I think Martin came out in 92. I think it was 92. Sitting there watching it with this fool. The classic episode when they got married. I told him then, I said, boy, he done messed us up for life for this. How we gonna beat that?
And who sang at the wedding?
Huh?
Who sang at the wedding?
Babyface.
Babyface.
There you go.
I mean, he messed. Look here, when they got engaged, he messed us up because he bring out Brian McKnight. He got married, he brought out Babyface. You know, they tell me it's the pastor's uncle. I ain't know the pastor's uncle Babyface. I'm like, oh Lord. Everything, and then let me get my last boogie. That always gonna be classic. But one of the
calling you from the back room, dog.
One of the funniest episodes is always gonna be the Halloween episode, though.
The Mr. T.
With
Old Man Ackerman
in the house.
Old Man Ackerman. Yeah.
Old Man Ackerman, boy, that thing was funny. Martin was stupid, man, and Martin changed sitcoms at that point, man. Sitcoms had been calm at that point.
You got to think about it like this, though. He was the first person to do sketch comedy in sitcom form, really, with all the characters he played and all the different stuff. I mean, that's a unique twist on it, but I mean,
you're right.
He did a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, all those characters was necessary because you needed Jerome, you needed Shanae, you needed Otis,
You miss
Dragonfly and Kenji.
Dragonfly
and Kenji, bro. Dragonfly.
I need my money.
You know how you had background stuff? That time when
the
first episode, Dragonfly's introduced, and Kenji kicking his ass. I love how Pam said, "Oh, you felt so good," and he get up and want to kick.
Yeah,
you felt so good.
That one in Gina's apartment when he teaches
that's the one.
Watch Cole back to die. Because he can't hold it. Because when he get up and fall back down, bro, I was like, oh, come on, Martin. I don't know which one. I don't know what is his greatest character because even Roscoe was funny as I don't know what.
You was out.
The greatest character.
The
greatest character was only one time, and that was at DMV. Nobody could hold it together in the DMV. Nobody. I'm sorry.
Everybody lost it, man. Hang that on, McGee.
When he spun and walked off, Martin lost it.
Man, everybody
Martin lost it.
Cause the whole thing was stupid, man.
Boy, Dexter.
What cheating?
Hey, man, I'm about to watch that. Yeah, dog. You get that shit right there. Where's Scratch?
And who was in that episode? Sherman Hemsley.
Sherman Hemsley.
Oh man, yeah.
And then he gave us the classic Bruh Man from the fifth floor.
Oh man, I thought
Yeah.
the New Jack City episode.
Oh.
Man, he was out of
The
Lost
dog.
it again.
The dog.
Lost it
The
again.
dog. I didn't even see the dog coming, man.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't get a real dog.
See, I gotta hear your top 5 now because to get that at 5 right there, I gotta see because I got some shockers, but that is a shocker to be that low.
Yeah,
that's just how good my top 4 is, man. And you gonna hear it once we get to it. Who you got for number 5, Dave?
Parks and Rec. Man, John Ralphio by himself. That was Aziz's homie. Man, John Ralphio and his sister by themselves could have a sitcom. That's it they did. And the way and he just comes singing. And then when Ron Swanson, they asked him if he wants salad, and he say, man, I don't eat the food my food eats. If you break that down, that is classic. It's like a lion. A lion don't eat no grass. He eat whatever the deer ate. Yep. Man, yeah, everything, man. But John Ralphio had, like I said, if you got time to YouTube, John Ralphio by himself, the dude, when he's supposed to have been dead, and he wanted Lil Jon played at the funeral, and the way the rabbi said, this is Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. Get low, get low. And they start bumping that, and John Ralphio and his sisters hiding behind the tree. And they get Parks and Rec. Like Rashida Jones.
Rashida Jones.
Yeah, she's a genius.
The lead character. That time when they asked old boy to do something fun, he dressed up as Batman, the accountant, he came out on saying, you know the comedian, the one he everywhere now. The one he married, she married him in the end. You know what I'm talking about? He everywhere. You if you see him, you would know him.
I probably do.
But yeah, Ron Swanson, classic. Oh, and when Ron had 2 wives, Tammy 1 and Tammy 2. When Tammy 1 used to come back, she would F this cat till he couldn't nut again. And that was it. And then leave. He'd be bald-headed. Remember that time she wanted on the rug and he rubbed his mustache off? Hey, y'all, Parks and Rec is classic. Tammy 1 and Tammy 2 by themselves. So Tammy 1 that's the crazy woman off of Will and Grace. Yeah. You remember when Dave Chappelle, if you don't like Will and Grace, it ain't you. It's Will. Dave Chappelle, shout out.
Yeah.
So Parks and Rec, my number.
Yeah, Parks and Rec. Yeah, Parks and Rec is a classic.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, here we go. Golden Girls.
Woo! Yeah.
You got Sophia, Blanche, Rose, and Dorothy. You always knew some foolishness was coming. And low-key, Sophia was the funniest one out of them all. Because she would say stuff with a straight face and just walk off. You know.
Bruh.
Rose to Blanche.
Bruh.
Can I ask the stupid question? Better than anybody I know.
No, yeah, exactly.
No, and just that line right there is classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the dynamic of those 4. I mean,
hey, stay tuned too, fellas. I got a TV theme song mix. I'm sending to y'all after this. I made one.
Okay.
It's straight TV theme song.
Right.
Straight TV theme song.
Sure.
This ought to be great, then. Golden Girls.
No one episode that stood out on that, but I mean, just you always had something to look forward to because you just never knew what stupidness was coming when they all got together.
And they got serious too. The interracial episode, the gay episode.
Yeah.
What's the name? Son was gay, right?
Her brother, Blanche's brother was gay.
That's it, Blanche's brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, bruh, hard. You know, sometimes it's hard for a show to be consistent from start to finish. Just funny. The Golden Girls are consistent start to finish. It's just funny. Matter of fact, watching last night, the last episode where Dorothy was gonna marry Lieutenant Frank Drebin. That thing funny as I don't know what. Cause Sophia say, "Is your mother still alive?" No, she is now. And she leaned over on her. I said, "Boy, this is good, dog." Yeah. She is now. Yeah, you can't beat the Golden Girl. That's hard. That's hard to come against right there. All right. Start with number 4 for me. Cosby Show. Classics. The Cosby Show showed the first successful black family, I would say, other than the Jeffersons. But you had wife's a lawyer, husband's a doctor. But low key, when the Cosby Show started, everybody thought Theo was gonna be the worst child out of all of them. Come to find out, Theo ended up being his best child when it was all said and done. Okay, the worst child was Vanessa because she wanted to go to Baltimore to see the wretched.
Yeah.
Oh, and then she married Dabness.
Dabness Bricky.
Dabness, yeah.
Dabness Bricky.
Vernon Maxwell.
Elvin and Sandra, of course, just dumbness. Spent all that money, went to school, and decided I ain't want to be a doctor. I ain't want to be a lawyer.
Wilderness store.
I'm gonna have a wilderness store.
You know, they did REI before REI.
Yeah. Yeah, they wanted a wilderness store, man. And it was funny as I don't know what. It was like, what are y'all doing? You know?
The apartment
was crazy. Everything about them, you know, Denise was all over the place, didn't know what she wanted to be, what she wanted to do, whatever. Come back with a ready-made family, and they trying to figure out, okay, what you doing? How you taking care of this baby? You can't take care of yourself. You know? You know, it showed you black families how they really were. Now, yeah, they was a little, you know, they did some bougie things too, but at the same time, that really broke down to what we really were. We got together, we spent time together. You had friends. Cockroach was everybody's friend because they go my cockroach right here in the upper left. You always had that friend, you know, that was push you to do something, and at the same time, you know, sometimes we went too far, sometimes didn't go far enough. You know how it go. And then, like I say, you end up, you become successful despite everything that you had got yourself into when you was a teenager. So, of course,
it's called living life, the process of discovery. That's what it is.
And I mean, Cosby Show gave you multiple guest star appearances of some of the greatest people in all of all of black culture. You know what I'm saying? Stevie Wonder, you know, Mavis. He brought Mavis to sing her gospel song. Mavis, you know, you had his dad, you know, didn't realize when we were younger that his dad was the voice of Panthro from Thundercats. That made it even better. You know what I'm saying? But we love when it was anniversary time for the grandparents knew we was gonna get a show.
Yes.
What they saw. Yep.
You know the nighttime, baby.
Yeah.
It's the right time.
Yeah.
And one thing about it, he gave us something that we didn't know. You could look like Bill Cosby and still get somebody that looked like Felicia Rashad. That showed us all we need.
For two shows. Not just the Cosby Show, but Cosby too.
I know, but just saying, Felicia Rashad. Felicia Rashad to this day still it. Okay, we just leave it at that.
I saw The Beekeeper the other day. You ever seen The Beekeeper? Good movie.
Yeah,
good movie. Really good movie. Yeah. Really good movie.
All right, number 4, Kelps.
My number 4 kind of goes with the same theme, but you know, it's back in the day, and the ghetto. So I'm my number 4 is Good Times, and for a lot of reasons, because James Evans was a strong black father. I hate he left the show a little early, but you had a star-studded cast. You had Walona, Penny, Jimmy Walker, of course. You had Thelma, who still looked the same as she did on the show, but then you also had Florida, and you had some of the funniest episodes. You had Sweet Daddy, the one I just watched the other day when JJ moved out and Florida wasn't talking to him, and the police raided JJ was in the closet. They never saw him. You know, you got so many classes in there. You got Keith at the wedding, you know, all that stuff. But it just goes to show you the daily struggle of the family in the ghetto trying to make it out. I think it was in Cabrini Green, but the other one was Catfish. When they had a funeral for Catfish. You know, you got so many moments on that show. And then you also had Ned DeWino. You know, Florida took us, we would have been done a lot sooner, but you know, it took us 5 minutes to take the socks off. We realized Ned wasn't wearing it. And when they won the best house, best apartment, or whatever, when she came back, she said, you know, it was real close between you and another tenant, but I just want y'all to know you won because the way you cleaned up Ned. Ned was ugly. Ned said, the classic. Ned said,
oh,
face straightened up real quick. But you just had so many moments. You had Black Jesus on there. You had
they could have been out the ghetto. Could have been out the ghetto. Black
they always
Jesus
had a kid. Yeah, but then you had the famous episode, but they talked all that trash to Bookman, blubber butt, fats on all the stuff, and then they read the letter, that James had died, and then Florida held it together as long as she could, but the classic at the end, so that was my number 4. Good Times is a classic.
I go along with that one, Mo. I can go along with that. Good Times, James Evans. James Evans. I equate James Evans to my granddaddy. Because he used to call him the fussing man because that's all James did was fuss. And see, my granddaddy didn't have to do that because they remember my granddaddy. He didn't have to say a whole lot. It's just okay. We ain't even gonna talk about this no more. But one of our favorite episodes is the Wiggler. That is James Evans. James Evans at his best in the Wiggler episode, because
that's when was they drawing Sweet Daddy Girl, right?
No, that's when he did. That's when he did Savannah Morgan. When he did, Wiggler was Miss Brooks.
Miss Brooks, yeah.
Come in there. Florida, look at him. I'm like, oh, girl, I ain't paying that girl no mind. Hey, this coffee cold. Why don't you give me another cup of that? I say, oh, no.
Hey, and what about breaking the pencils with Mad
Dog?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I just need 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
And y'all know Rick, like James played at Colorado State for years and went to the NFL, and then he started acting. Go look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James was a 4-year.
James played for the, he got drafted by the Colorado State Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was big. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he went into acting. And I mean, you think about it, we don't give James Evans but every role he played in was iconic because it can go all the way back. James Evans was an iconic role. Kunta Kinte was an iconic role. Mr. McDowell in Come to America is an iconic role. You can't beat James Evans playing iconic roles.
Wasn't he Big and Small too? Or was that on?
No, he was Kansas City Mac in Piece of That.
Yeah, Kansas City Mac. Yeah.
Let's do it again. Yeah, he was Kansas City Mac. Big and Small was Calvin Lockhart.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was actually good chemistry between them.
Yeah,
him Calvin Lockhart had good chemistry in the house. The LL Cool J sitcom. He was the coach trying to rehabilitate LL, and he hit Debbie Allen because when he used to try to hit on Debbie Allen, she just she
ain't paying him no attention back then. Yeah.
But don't forget that was Tommy father too.
Yeah,
Martin.
Yeah. But Calvin Lockhart,
one of the coldest episodes ever. But go ahead.
Make Cole pee on himself, man.
Oh my goodness.
Number 4, Dave. Number 4.
King of Queens. I tell folks, when I say somebody can just walk in, Arthur, all I gotta do is see Arthur, and he about to holler. Well, and the rest of it is Deacon. All of them. Lou Ferrigno being a nosy ass neighbor is so funny because he's so damn big. When he was playing that Super Nintendo, when he was supposed to be trading, old boy, the damn controller in his hand looked like it was. When he was whispering to Arthur about gossiping with the neighbors, and he said, Ferrigno, man, he tell it all. Did you see the Hulk be the gossiper of the damn neighborhood? And the episode when Deacon go visit his father, and it's on the episode when what's the name go try to break up the wedding, when Spencer go try to break up the wedding with old girl, the girl from Saturday Night Live. She married an officer and a gentleman type dude. And when big ass Deacon run out the house and be like, you ain't gonna be talking about my mama like that. Deacon just too big to ever look that vulnerable. So yes, everything about when Arthur had to secure the black vote at the old folks' home, and he used Deacon and the black vote was just one dude.
Oh, what was the episode when Deacon and his wife went out of town and they had to keep their kid?
And they kept playing sexual.
Yeah.
And what's that?
Started drawing.
He couldn't keep up because they were.
Yeah.
He said, that's their song. They had back to back. And what's the name again? So yeah, I love that episode too. That's when they had the they went on vacation, right, Cal?
Yeah.
Ricky Lake, she funny in there.
Yeah.
She the sister. Yeah, man. Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah. Kevin James is stupid.
Yeah.
He's stupid.
Yes.
For no reason.
Yeah. Yeah, he really is.
And the most selfish person in the world is his wife. Carrie is out to do what's best
for Carrie. All the time.
All the time. Whoop your ass if you cross it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because that time when she went back to tutor the high school girl, then she ended up smoking cigarettes again. Remember that episode?
Yeah.
When she turned bad, when she was supposed to be helping the girl that was going bad. Yeah, King of Queens, folks.
King of Queens, yes. All right. My number 3, we already talked about it. Good times. All I got to say, The Wiggler. Greatest episode ever made.
Yes.
All right. Dave, number 3.
Sanford and Son. People didn't realize Fred Sanford wasn't racist. He didn't like nobody who wasn't American. He was an anti-foreign dude. Remind me of my where my granddad fought in World War II. So anybody that did that, if you ain't American, you're a foreigner. It don't matter what you are. And that's what Fred was. He thought he was against white people. No, he was against anybody.
Fred didn't like nobody
in America.
Fred ain't like nobody. I was about to say he ain't like Rollo. He ain't like Julio. He ain't like Bubba half the time. Grady.
And what about when old boy was slandering old girl, his wife's name? And I love when Esther say, Fred, you hold him down while I beat the hell out of him. Man, that is when they team up. Big Money Grip. Yeah. And Esther said, Fred, you hold him while I beat the hell out of him. Man, they was about to get crunk in that episode right there. Yeah.
The one I like though was on Sanford and Son when Lamont brought that coffin home. If that's on inside, I'm outside.
You look good. Pop, you look good with white hair. Good night,
Jack. You all right?
I love the other things, man. Ain't nothing uglier than an old white woman. He said that to old girl at the bank when he gave it that again. Ain't nothing uglier than an old white woman.
Man, Fred got so many of my favorite one, and I sent it every time it pop up on my timeline. I have to send it out because when Walona was there and talking about Fred, we'll talk about that some other time. And Fred look at her and it cock his head. That is the funniest thing. He ain't said a word. All he did was, you don't tell me.
When he went
you don't tell me what to do.
Remember, he went to the haberdashery shop and he was.
And he wanted some haberdash.
Yeah, can you haberdash me? Yeah, man, that dude right there. Yeah.
Grady with the wild. Rollo with the wild parsley.
Rollo with the wild parsley. Rollo with the wild parsley is a classic. And Lena Horne.
Yeah.
Because Lena Horne.
Little lame Lamont.
And Fred when she kissed Fred, I thought Fred was gonna die.
I know.
Fred like,
what about when he met Della Reese?
Della. I'm gonna tell you the one that's really funny. Go back if you gotta see it. Where Roger Mosley got the watch bag for her, and he took the cover off him. He said, this is D1.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What was that when Lamont was messing with the girl, I guess, and he was at the club and he had to fight on dude. He got down on the knees.
Yeah. He had crazy karate.
He jumped up. Yeah. Because Grady's supposed to be watching him while Fred was gone, right?
Yeah, he's supposed to be watching Lamont.
But why he need a babysitter at 30-something years old, I don't know.
Man, because Lamont would get in some stuff, man. Because Fred knew how Lamont was. Fred knew how Lamont was. Lamont always got in some stuff. Him and Julio.
Yeah.
Julio.
Him And Rollo, yeah. Say, Pops.
My
The thing I
favorite.
like about that, though.
Ain't never seen his mama, but ain't that really Lawson boy, Rollo?
Hey,
Rollo
it
never
be
had
like that.
Oh, you can't beat that, man. Number
No,
3,
but like that
Kelsey.
snippet, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna head on though. But just like on that snippet I sent you, like Demar said, him and Fred was strapped every episode, man. That just tell you another level of genius of
Hey,
so.
lad, you look
They
here.
wasn't
If
playing
you got
around.
to do a show and you scrapped every night,
I love him.
come on, man.
Yeah,
That was funny as I
yeah.
don't know what. I'm like, why is y'all strapped? But then I had to remember, this is the early 70s in Los Angeles. He had to
Live
be
studio
strapped.
audience.
Yeah.
Live studio audience. Yeah,
Studio audience. You ain't know what was gonna pop off in there because
for
Fred
sure.
was terrible, man.
Y'all know Kevin Costner is from Compton.
Him and
Who's
who?
that?
Kevin Costner is from Compton.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
I knew him from the hood. Yeah,
But it was
Well,
before it became the hood.
in the hood, right?
All white.
Compton was predominantly white.
And
Yeah.
they had this thing. They formed the gangs to keep because the white people was harassing them, and that's how you got the Crips because they were keeping the white people from beating the hell out of them. You know when they crossed this imaginary line, and then they started beating the hell out of each other as things evolved because white flight happened, meaning the white people left the city, all black, and then they started. Well, who left to fight each other? But yeah, I didn't know that.
Right. Well, if you think about it, the place that burned during the wildfires, it's a popular part of Los Angeles, but that was mostly black.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Sunset, right? Part of Sunset Boulevard.
Part of Sunset, and then it's a neighborhood that everybody talks about out there, but I didn't realize it was all black until the fire started.
Is it the rich one? Is it Baldwin Hills?
Not Baldwin Hills. It's a little bit down from that. It was.
I kind of I don't know the name of that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was all black until it happened. Until the fires happened. I'm like, all these folks is black. Didn't realize that. You know, because I've never been to LA, so I don't know. You know, all I know about LA is whatever NWA told me. So you know, that's how that goes.
I've been a couple times. Man. I've
been a couple times.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Right. My number 3 is Martin. For all the reasons that you said, but also you can always count on Martin to every once in a while drop some nuggets. I know we talked about it on previous episodes, but you talked about the Barnell Hill show. You know, we talked about Tommy Hearns. You know, when even when Martin had when he delivered the baby, what Martin, she ain't got no umbilical cord. Man, this is TV. You know, you got so many nuggets on that. And when Martin was in the barbershop, Mad Dog was coming, And the thing I like about Martin was he actually Kenji and Nipsey, those real life best friends. So he gave him work,
Yeah.
But I couldn't have played with him though, because I mean, man, Kenji was bad enough by himself. But Nip, low key, Nip was funny as I don't know what, man. Nip always had some stuff going.
Hey, they about to cut off my lights, man. You gonna give me this money?
See your way in the dark.
It's your heart. In
you
the
be working on your heart.
Yeah, in the dark. Yeah, man.
You can see that.
Kenji.
Man. What was the character when he at the garage? Don't you know no good? I can't remember him.
Oh, that Roscoe.
What was his name?
Not Roscoe. Leroy.
Leroy.
Yeah.
Don't you know no good?
Yeah. You have some classics on there, man.
I love my music.
I love my music.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, he has some classics.
So I gotta stop calling it because if
I'm gonna tell you like this. One thing about Martin,
it's Pam.
It was Pam, man.
Yeah.
Pam.
Hey.
I know a couple times on that show they had to be like, you know what, Pam, you need to go somewhere, cause Pam would wreck shop bad.
Yeah. But the favorite episode was when Pam and Martin couldn't stand each other. They was on that island. They didn't like each other, but they beat the mess out of that puppy.
That ain't no damn puppy.
I don't know what that is, but I ain't hungry no more.
Hey, David Allen Grill, when he used to come on, and when he said, he said, kissing, when he tried to get a divorce. This was Gina wasn't on there.
Yeah.
And they back to the island. And he said, man,
Yeah.
he said, that'll be the damn thing on this island. When they say we cousins, he said, that'll be the damn thing on this island. Man, yeah.
David Allen Greer, every time he came on Martin, it was classic.
Yes.
Got a
I feel
Got a
something
feeling.
rising
Yeah.
up.
everything gonna be all right.
Yeah. Stop it, Beelzebub. Stop it.
That's it.
Man,
What you should do is get down on your knees
Mhm.
and pray and pray. David Allen Greer, but the chemistry of David Allen Greer and Martin goes back to Boomerang. Cause that scene when they in the gym and he talking about he got a handicap sign on his neck, that is one of the funniest scenes you ever want to see in your life.
Hey, another new sitcom, St. Nick's Medical, where David Allen Greer plays the doctor, is funny. Because he's funny.
I gotta check that out.
Hey,
It's David Allen Greer, man.
He kills that.
It's
and
David
Bella
Allen Greer.
Goldberg, because that's what she will always be to me. The girl, the nurse, Wendy McCovey. You know, I love the Goldbergs. It ain't in the list, but man, I was because of the 80s. And anything about the 80s, I'm gonna be addicted to. But she and also she'll be the lady off of Reno 911, her crazy ass being the cop.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have never been a cop. But yeah, y'all, you gotta check that out, man. It's a pretty good sitcom.
All right, I'm gonna check it out for sure.
All right. My number 2 is the Jeffersons. Main reason, George.
Yes, sir.
Ain't got to say nothing else.
That's it.
Number 2, Kelsey.
Fresh Prince, for all the reasons we talked about earlier, but I think you saw the evolution of Will becoming an actor because I know off camera, you know, him and James Avery had a lot of conversations about him and his acting. And you really saw Will evolve when on the episode where his dad showed up.
Yeah.
And at the end, I mean, the end of that episode, it was classic because that wasn't scripted. And James said himself, all he could do at the end of that episode was hug him, man. I mean,
he did.
Yeah,
he did.
That was no acting. Yeah, for sure.
To our population so hard, man.
Yeah.
I had to take
exactly.
I remember when I was in the military and I was in the day room and I was watching just pause. I mean, you just saw a bunch of folks just pause because I mean that's 85% of us at this point. And
exactly.
That episode hit hard. Yeah.
Yeah. For all the foolishness he did on there, you know, and that's true. You're gonna pick out your cousins, all that stuff like that, you know, him and Jazz, you know, but that one episode and then the other one was when he tried to tell Carlson not to take the car or whatever. They was driving the car up and then they got arrested. You know, when Phil came in there on the end, that just showed you another level as well of the power. But you know, it took Mama coming in to tell you about Phil's past and why he was the way he was. Or Zeke, that's it. Zeke with the pet pig and all that stuff.
Hey, Zeke was from South Carolina.
Yeah, for sure. But that just showed you the levels of what he went through and the things that they fought for to give them a better life, you know. And he tried to instill that in Will. And at the end, I think Will got it. So that's the reason why it's my number 2, because it doesn't matter how you started, but it also matters where you end up in. For a black man who had it all together to take in his nephew, you know, his wife's sister's child, and raise him as his own, that speaks volumes. And that spoke volumes to the black community.
In actuality, for as much as Will got into, Will ended up being the best out of him because Carlton, you know, Carlton was a huge disappointment at some point. Ashley was Ashley and Hillary. I mean, you know,
she was never the same after Trevor died.
But that's one of the classic episodes. After 2 classic episodes of Fresh Prince is when Trevor died and when Pam Grier and Elise Nia, mother and daughter, came to visit Phil, and Phil and Will look at each other talking about, damn, because to this day, y'all, to this day, Pam Grier can get it, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
She's still alive.
Yes, and still,
she's still alive,
and still, Dave, and still.
I know that. Yeah,
bruh. It's almost like is you a human or is you a cryptoid? Because
I
you don't look like
you that Plex thing I tell you that I got right. So I got what's the one? You know, the black exploitation. I got Blackula. The other day I put Blackula on there. Sweet. What's her one?
Foxy Brown.
Foxy Brown. But I got Foxy Brown. What's the other one?
Coffee.
Coffee. Yes.
Coffee, yeah.
Low key, I'm gonna tell you this here. The first movie I ever went to the movies to see, the first movie, this ought to tell you something right here. My mama set me up for failure from the start. You cannot take me to go see Coffee as my first movie that I remember seeing as a young boy. Coffee, bruh, Pam Grier. I've been runt ever since. Okay, I'll leave it.
My first movie, Margaret Ball, you know what you did. She took me to see The Fall. Dude, you know how traumatized I was for like the next 3 years. Remember The Fall?
I remember that one. I'm like, what?
Mommy took me on my birthday, a double feature. How the hell this be a Jungle Fever and The Fall?
And The Fall. Ooh.
Y'all, when I got out that movie,
scared.
for that whole night I'm in the room, dog, man, I was terrified for 3 years thinking something coming. Because you know The Fall, they come under that door.
Yeah, and you hear a knock on that door. Yeah.
No, that was my first movie, T, is The Fall.
No. Ain't no way, bro.
I will never forget that because like I said, the 2 movies that have traumatized me was The Fall and daggone Freddy. Because I know I didn't want to go to sleep for a second with Freddy.
Freddie was a little scary. But then the other part of it, the one that always got me was The Exorcist. Because I don't play with that.
And The Shining. It don't really have to. The ones that get me are the ones where they don't show nothing really. Like The Omen, right?
Right.
When she says, Damon, this is all for you, and she come out that window. Yeah, you talking some. Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna hit y'all with another one. There's 2 that get me because they actually happened. Amityville and The Conjuring. And I was just up in Rhode Island this week. And where I was is only 20 minutes from that house.
No, bro. No, that's all right, bro. Nah.
It's only 20 minutes away from where I was. I wanted to go see it.
Look at it. Like Eddie Murphy say, oh, this is lovely up in here. Get out. Mm-hmm. Too bad we can't stay, baby.
Okay. Exactly.
And you know, look, Rosemary's Baby.
That's good.
That's
good.
Yeah.
I just knew.
It messed with your head.
I just knew my first child might come out like Rosemary's Baby.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah,
y'all remember,
take a look at this dude. He do
little did I know my first baby mama was Rosemary Baby, but that's another story unto itself.
Herself?
Yeah. Coop Noah. Am I lying?
Yeah. For me, it was Poltergeist. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Am I lying?
I was good in Poltergeist to the end. When that clown came under the bed, that killed it for me.
Hey, so you know, I got to set on my TV, right? Because I mean, I think everything, the way sports is going, it's going to be antenna. I don't, because NBA, right? It's going to be back to NBC. Football is always going to be where it is, and baseball is going back to regular TV because after this year, ESPN is not showing baseball anymore.
Right.
Going back to its channel.
It's on regular TV here. The Braves are on regular TV.
Yeah. And I think the best thing to have now is just a regular antenna. So the story, I was scanning for channels. You know how it says digital and analog? Yeah. So I do digital and analog. You know there's no such thing as analog channels no more, right? So I was, and when I saw that, I said, no, we got to go past that. No, because I don't need them to do that.
No.
Well, you thought someone coming out the window?
Yeah, no. They cannot be back. I do not want to be over an Indian burial ground. Extended for my life.
Exactly.
And then that little girl died in real life on Poltergeist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you know Stephen King. Stephen King is responsible for our nightmares. You know that, right? Because everything stemmed from reading his stuff. Everything. Yeah. Cujo. They getting ready to make a new Cujo, bro.
Oh, I found out one of the Cujos was actually a man in a dog suit.
You couldn't tell?
They used 4 different dogs and 1 human.
That Saint Bernard.
I wonder if that was Desmond Bain.
That's from earlier. Y'all don't know nothing about that. That was an earlier thread we discussed. Desmond Bain.
That's another episode.
Is a reptilian humanoid. We'll leave it at that.
And the Lopez brothers are the missing link. Don't you know it? That's why you put your hand in your head. You know they the missing link. Come on, nobody. Evolution missed them. They are pre-human. They are from the Paleo era. You know that. Evolution missed them twice. We keep looking for the missing link, and we got 2 big ass 7-footers that are the missing link. Look, they could almost walk on all fours. Look how their arms hang. Look at their face. They are cavemen. If Geico wanted to do real life caveman commercials, they could use the Lopez brothers. I don't know why they didn't think about that shit before I did.
So Brooke and Robin are paleo Neolithic.
Yes. They're the missing link.
Subspecies.
Yes, evolution missed them. They are the missing link. When it was time to stand up, the Lopez boys were so big that they could still kind of get up and be 7 feet. There you go.
Oh man. And guess what?
And you look at their face, don't you tell me them ain't cavemen.
And they graduated from Stanford. Graduated from Stanford.
Exactly. They are they on Fred Flintstone. They anybody with the last name Rock, because everybody had last name Rock on the Flintstones.
Okay.
Everybody's last name had to end with Rock.
He has gone down the rabbit hole now. We can't come back.
It's on me for 2, right?
We on number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So number 2 for me is The Office. I love The Office. Anytime, any episode, you're going to have a laugh out loud moment. My favorite moment is when the black dude is on there. They don't know who went to jail, but he went to jail. And he mad because when he described jail to them, they think jail is better than working in the office. So thus, he locked them in the conference room, and who he becomes? Prison Mike. And he say, hey, biatches. Hey, the way he say biatch, he said, man, you ever been to jail? They got the mentors flying around. Jim said, man, ain't that from Harry Potter? Just the way he break him down, and The Office. When he's spilling beans on the floor with the fat dude Kevin, and then that time when Kevin said he had cancer, but Mike was mad because his toe got burned in the George Foreman grill. He is Donald Trump. I don't know why it's not. Michael Scott said it's a hate crime because I hated it. What else you need? He lives life like, as long as you like Michael Scott, he has to be liked. Because if he's not liked, he's going to try to find out how to be liked, which is hilarity. And when he put them 2 dots on them Chinese people so he could tell them apart, when they went to the Christmas party,
first of all,
he got it up the loom. So he said, that's your girl. And he smiled.
First of all, Steve Korea by himself,
man,
has made a living just being dumb.
Just being dumb. Man,
everything that he is in has these moments where you sit there and you like, what in the world was y'all thinking about? Do you know how high you have to be to write some of this stuff sometime, man? You got to be on something, man, because Steve Korea in The Office and Steve Korea in the 40-year-old version is comedy high classic.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
High classic. And then when you got old Robin with him, that make it worse because he dumb in everything he do.
What the black dude, what's the big black dude?
Robinson. I forget what his first name is. He dumb, bro.
When Steve came to him, he said, I need to talk to you. He looked at the clock. He said, it's 5 o'clock. I've begun to gather my things. I will talk to you at 8 in the morning. That's when he was disrespecting him so bad he had to finally say something to him about it. Yeah. And then when they brought on the people to replace Mike, like what's his name? He was gonna be the boss. His name was Dwayne something. Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. Yeah.
And he played basketball, and Stanley couldn't dribble. He said, aren't black people ashamed of you? That man, yeah. Office, yeah. It is the most inappropriate. I love inappropriate.
It's inappropriate. The Office is inappropriate.
You say it back. You don't just, it's funny. You got me. But watch what I come back with, because it's going to be funny too. Yeah, but man, number 2.
Yeah, it's inappropriate. That's the biggest thing for it. All right.
Yeah.
My number 1, and it's the greatest, to me, it's the greatest sitcom of all time. Sanford and Son. Fred, the dynamic of Fred Sanford and Esther by itself. You could do an episode, every episode of just them two going back and forth. Now they couldn't stand each other, but you better not mess with Esther, and you better not mess with Fred. Because Fred,
exactly.
Elizabeth was the key. Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I say, Fred, Esther, Woody, Grady. Let's do Wham. Wham, bebop, do bam.
I can't sing it, I can't jam. Yeah.
Wham, bebop,
I'm gonna get my lady.
That is
I'm
us.
gonna get my lady.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, buddy. That is us.
Bubbling brown sugar. What was that on? What's happening?
Bubbling brown sugar was on.
No.
On the Gong Show, right?
Good time.
No, it was on when they were going on the Gong Show that time.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
when
I don't know why that came in my head.
Yeah.
Bubbling brown sugar.
Yeah, the kids were singing. The Giving Singers.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
The Giving. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Sanford the Son is my number one. All right. Cool. Hit it, Bo.
Cosby Show.
All right.
For all the reasons we talked about earlier, but here again, you start after the show's over and go through syndication, you start getting some of these nuggets. And I saw one the other day that made me have another level of appreciation for what Bill Cosby did on screen, not off screen. We're not gonna worry about that part. But with him and Felicia Rashad, because they were
a crime to have sex. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
Well, when you got extracurricular, we'll talk about that with another episode. Yeah, but because so many levels of back on that. But on that one episode where, like we talked about earlier, when Vanessa they wanted to go see the concert, they wrecked the car. They still got on the bus and went down to Baltimore. And when they got back, I saw the episode. Well, I saw a breakdown when Tempest said they were supposed to, they'd gone over the lines and they were supposed to do certain things. And like right at the end, she said, "Can I have my punishment now?" And how Cliff was looking on the show and everything. But then like Felicia Rashad got right up in her face and just yelled at her and told her to go to bed. She said after that, because it was in front of a live studio audience, she ran off screen. She went back to her dressing room, got down in the corner. And immediately after that, Felicia came back in there and she was bawling hysterically, whatever. She came and she grabbed her. And she was telling her, now that was real acting. That's what I wanted to get out of you, because she was saying like, she wanted to be a real actor, but up until then, they was just going through the motions. So Felicia had to hit those buttons on Tempest to get that out of her. So looking at that episode now, it's got a totally different perspective for me. But it was so many different nuggets in that show, and Cliff was just dumb. But he has some things going on there too,
I raised my boys with that episode. Average, man.
Yeah.
Man,
that's it.
What you average? You get this average. That's
it. Yeah, him and Cliff. Theo and Cockroach. My favorite episode when Cliff he cut a piece of cake and then stuffed all the paper towel in there and then tried to cover it over with the icing. They had so many good episodes.
But that is something we would do though. We actually would
pretty
do
much.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trying to make it look like I ain't been in this cake.
I like when they did the history episode and they made the rap song about history.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, because you know what? I think we used that. In our creative writing class.
Yeah.
First of all,
Hunt had a full rap called Time Machine.
Right.
That actually went through. Yeah, that actually was pretty good.
Bruh, we were different. Okay, I'll just say that when we were kids and stuff we saw, if it clicked for us, that's what we did.
Yeah.
We were the worst kids in the world and would get A's and it would drive our teachers crazy. We were like, how y'all doing this? Because y'all ain't never took a book home.
Me and teachers to drive teachers crazy. They did not, because that was the thing, right? That was their issue. I told you that time, told me I wasn't going to turn out to be shit in my life. Okay, let me find your ass now.
You remember?
But they knew the potentials.
You remember our senior year when Mr. Glenn, remember all of us was in there, we were playing football and stuff. Mr. Glenn go tell us something about, I got all these football players in here. I sure hope y'all go pass your grades in here. I said, man, don't even worry about this here. This gonna be cake.
Yeah.
This gonna be cake. Yeah. Hey, bro. Yeah, he did have a class full of football players, and actually, all of us now, are successful young men. So it just lets you know You can be a cool nerd at any point in your life, man. That's the thing.
For sure.
All right,
All right,
we on
Dave,
number one.
Your number one, Dave.
You already know. Martin, but tied with I got a 1A and 1B because I gotta go my culture. Well, 1A is Martin. And because of everything we said, every time I look at one, I laugh. I got a lot of episodes. My favorite one might be the Olympic team with Don Staley and them because just they short, thick, and handsome. What's gonna be the next play? And when he passed the ball, this ain't hot wings. And Gordon, you out. Nipsey, you back in. He comes.
We shuffle in there.
He said, I wanna be like Mike. They got me on hold. Hey, he swearing somebody out. Another one. When they doing the trivia in the first season, and Cole was killing it, then he come on there and say Barry Manilow. That was everything. Hey, the first episode, but she hurt you bad back there in the room. There.
Yeah.
And see, Tommy is you to me because you had the sense. You were the one like, listen, man, stop. You can't be. She hurt you bad back there in the room. I could see you saying that shit to me if I was back in the room with Tip and I walking out like I'm the man. But she hurt you bad.
Back there in the room. Because I already knew what had happened.
Hey, what did he say? When it's a secret? Secret. Lock it up and throw it away. Yeah, keep it on lock and I throw it away. And what he say to pay me? Something about you when you walk in the room, it's just flat. You just got all this just bad in. Yeah. That's Martin. Martin and 1B is the Cosby Show. Cultural, like everything y'all said. I can't, the football episode when he wanted to play football just so he could do the dance. The graduation from NYU. All of it. I mean, my favorite lesson was when he had that thing and he stabbed us first. He said, you got a steak dinner, right? Nice. Potatoes and greens, but you put it on the trash can lid. It's the presentation. That's how you brought Dabness to us. He is a steak dinner, but you presented us to him on the lid of a trash can. Dog, that was a breakdown. And also it shows you no matter what you've done, you can try to put your kids on that same road. But life's
they're gonna be who they're gonna be.
They're going to be who they want to be.
Life is a crapshoot.
But you got to admit, though, Denise was on to something with that Gordon Gartrell.
Hey, I told you the other day.
That was that Itty Hammer
Gordon Gartrell. Yes. Yeah. And what about that time with the snowball fights when he coming back in the dark? That's another funny one to me.
When he walk out there.
The same episode. Remember when he fighting with the snowball people with the little kids? And then Sinead, they come running in there. Yeah. Forever Sinead. Hey, talk to me like you did that little light-skinned girl on House Party. Man, come on.
Man, that right there would have had me on the floor. Because you ain't going to talk to me like that, man. Light-skinned girl on House Party. Hey,
what about when they won that car?
Low. Say it right.
Low. Low.
Yeah. And what about when they had to share the car? Them different days.
It smelled like greens up here.
Hey, Roman Rome don't chase that car down. No, and he running the block. Hey, remember when I always got on that fake MCM suit just like your ass had.
Hey, but that was funny in that store though. Oh, Pepe, Papa, Pase, bada dong. I remember that. See how you feel when you try to cash this check tomorrow.
And comedy can get you through things, man. Because I will tell you this, and nobody ain't going when I became a Mason, right? And stuff going on in there. You know what's going on when you go over. Everything's the same. My line I used to break out. I said, man, I don't give a shit what y'all do, long as y'all don't kill no damn dogs in here, man. Like Harlem Nights, man. Them niggas used to break down and land. That was it. I ain't had to worry about it. They moved on to the next person after that. But man, they don't care. You just go down to the next. I don't care what just don't kill no damn dogs up in here.
Look at Harlem Nights. That's a show unto itself because that is a classic.
T, can I start out with honorable mentions right quick?
Go ahead. I want to hear this, man.
Cheers, Becker, Give Me a Break, Golden Girls, and this has popped in recently because they nothing like Roll the Blood. smoking it and watching Balky and Perfect Stranger.
Yeah.
He done went all the way back to Balky, man.
Hey, hey, as you know, the original for Family Matters.
That's right. Balky gave us Family Matters.
Yep.
Yep, sure did.
Yep.
All right. My honorable mention, and I hate it. This was hard for me, but because I just love this man to death. Married with Children, man. There's nobody like 4 touchdowns.
Got a black family.
4 touchdowns there,
and the neighbors. Don't forget Marcy and Steve.
Marcy and Jefferson. Both. Ain't nothing to do. Jefferson Darcy.
And a love to the dog, too. The dog was tight, too, man.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Night Court. Dan Fielding
is
my dog. Frazier.
Yes.
Niles Crane. One of the funniest characters of all time.
That's your girls. One of your girls. Tip love Frazier.
Andy Griffith. We already talked about it. Homer Powell.
Yeah.
I Dream of Jeannie.
Yes, sir. Sergeant. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Perfect beat the mix too.
Bewitched.
Hey, Will Freshman and Jazzy Jeff did it.
Yep. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But Bewitched is the last one. Because Bewitched, go back and watch old Bewitched when Paul Lynn, Uncle Arthur is on there. You will die laughing. Because he
could walk.
He could do stuff with just the look on his face and then bust out laughing. Man.
And you know who actually did a good job of that? I mean, it's cheesy. Sabrina the Teenage Witch wasn't bad. I mean, folks can hate, but I kind of like, shout out to Boy Meets World. I did like that. That's another one that goes on my list. Boy Meets World. Yeah. Hey, Girl Meets World goes on my list. We actually watched that as a family.
Yeah. Did. How was it? Because I didn't watch it.
Yeah, pretty good show, man. Topanga and all of them came back. It was a pretty good
show. Look at it. Topanga, man. Topanga.
If I had another daughter, that was gonna be her name. Topanga.
Yeah. Topanga was different.
Yep.
He was different.
Oh, shout out to Steven Stevens.
Yeah.
Who?
Oh,
Steven Stevens. Disney Channel. I love me Stevens.
Got you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna lay them on the ones we hadn't talked about. The Facts of Life, for me, Family Matters, Will and Grace, That's My Mama, Different Stroke, Three's Company, Happy Days, Full House, and Everybody Loves Raymond.
Hey, I love what he tell her. I'm just trying to make the family like each other. He said, "You ain't been here that long, have you?" On everybody.
Hey, AIS, man.
And some of the best episodes is when they do the crossovers with King of Queens, and he goes over and he's his best friend. That day they played golf in the rain that whole day. You remember that episode? They were supposed to go. He was supposed to get his license renewed.
Ain't being yet.
Yeah, and Raymond came with him, and it was over. Yep.
It was classics, man.
But the classic DMV is, of course, Martin.
Yes, definitely.
You're so indeed.
Hey, and I also shout out to our family, man. We did sit down and watch sitcoms faithfully. Like we would come together until the boys were like 15. The last one was the Goldberg. Shout out to the Goldberg because we used to run.
That was a good one.
We used to sit down every night because The Office we watched as a family together. Because we be after football practice, the boys come home at 9, watch that, and then do homework. The Office, but we used to. Oh, shout out to The Middle too. We used to watch The Middle as a family.
Modern Family.
Rusty, Norm Macdonald as Rusty. Old boy's brother, Rusty character on The Middle is a funny dude. You got to check out Norm Macdonald as the guy. So the dad is the dude from Scrubs, the janitor.
Yeah.
Rusty is his brother, and it's Norm Macdonald. And man, Rusty ain't got no license. All he got is a pickup truck with no doors. And had Brick driving it. Brick was the smart, but we can't use the word retarded no more, Kim.
No.
Okay.
It's not cool.
Okay.
No. But yeah, Modern Family is another classic. Modern Family is one of them you get high and watch, and it gonna be worse because there ain't nothing stupider than them chilling daddy because he's stupid.
Yeah,
he's stupid. He look at everything. Another good show. We will be back in probably a couple of weeks, and then we'll get back for the stack for the draft. Get ready for that. Got to figure out what the next show is going to be. We done did sitcoms.
I got one.
R&B groups. Oh, what you got?
I was going to say top 10 horror movies.
We can do that too.
I already know what my number one for that one is.
Yeah, I got a number one already too.
Yeah, I watched that one time. You ain't got to worry about me watching it no more.
What you say, Couch? You said R&B. Which one?
R&B group, male R&B groups. I know we visited one time before, but we can probably do it again.
I already know where that's going because it's gonna be a fight.
We did top 10 comedians.
No,
we did just comedy all together, but we do top 10 comedians. We can do that one as well. Write this down.
Right. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing because I'm trying to get my little list going, like thinking about who gonna be in this list.
Well, my number one is easy for comedy. That'd be Robin Harris, or him or either Bernie. One or two.
Man, when we had that Robin tape,
we burned that thing up, bro.
Oh my goodness, man! We burned that Robin. That Robin Harris tape popped so many times.
Yeah.
My word.
I'm going to the movie. You be careful.
You be careful. Well, you be careful now.
I'm telling you. If you want to be
happy there, sir.
Life.
Are those kids yours? No, these baby kids. Well, where the hell is baby?
Who the freak is baby?
Make it light on yourself.
That's it. Yeah, he left us too soon for sure. Yeah. Him and Bernie.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. We never got. And they was talking about this today on Instagram. We never got a chance to see the culmination of all the great comedians in one movie. Closest we ever got was Harlem Nights, and really Harlem Nights was supposed to have Bill Cosby in there too, because that would have had all of the great black comedians at the time. I don't know, and Bill Cosby probably would have fit in because if you've never, for those of you youngsters that have never watched A Piece of the Action, Uptown Saturday Night,
yeah,
Let's Do It Again. Those are classics. Even though Sidney Poitier is a trained actor, Sidney Poitier dumb as I don't know what in all three of them.
Top 10 actors.
There we go. Yeah.
Top 10 actors.
Hey, you can't leave out Leonard Part 6 now.
Man, great.
And Leonard Part. Hey, and what was the other movie? Kel? It was one more.
He could have left Leonard Part 6 out.
He's in space in Leonard Part 6, right?
Yeah.
He
in space with Leonard Part 6.
Ain't it Ghost Dad?
Ghost Dad? He did Ghost Dad.
That was
terrible.
That was like when Eddie Murphy did Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But you know what? Vampire in Brooklyn got a cult following. You know what I'm saying?
It's like Death by Temptation. Terrible.
Yeah.
But it has a cult following.
It got a cult following. What's called got one too. What's the one?
Not Pootie Tang.
Not Pootie Tang. What's called?
That's a great movie.
No, the one Dwayne Wayne was a star in.
Death by Temptation.
Oh, Death by Temptation.
Death by Temptation.
Okay, yeah. That was it was okay. I mean, you know,
now, Kels, you got me smiling with
Pootie Tang
because I know the lines right there.
Yeah, that was a great movie, man.
Hey,
Dirty Dan.
Dirty D, when Dirty D come around that coat, man, yeah.
I hate you, Pootie.
Pootie.
Hey, Pootie had that number one hit though.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, well, Arsenio did too. Chunky A.
Yeah.
Hey, don't get caught sleeping on Chunk.
Chunky ain't look. You know, the cultural look, there was a time, and I'll be honest, and I think that was part of when things started going wrong. When Arsenio went off, I think that's what changed black culture as a whole.
Once he put Farrakhan on, you knew that was.
Yeah, I mean, he knew
what Dave Chappelle said. They'll take you too.
Yeah. But the thing about it though, I mean, you got a chance to see if you was hip hop, you was going on Arsenio. It didn't matter, you know, and you couldn't beat it. I mean, we didn't even watch. But honestly, he took over because when Johnny Carson retired, you didn't watch the Tonight Show.
I never watched the Tonight Show anyway. Really,
Johnny Carson.
Because you gotta think about it. We was Andy Griffith, right?
Right.
By the time you got home from the sports or staying at school or whatever, that was, you were pretty much conked out by that time.
Well, I would watch it in the summer when I wasn't doing nothing but playing baseball. But during football and basketball and stuff, I was asleep because I got to get back up because I got to ride this bus. I ain't had no car, so you know.
Totally off something. Did Carolina Hurricanes come on TV for you?
No.
Okay, I was saying
they got rid of the regional channel. Now the Hornets come on
because the Kraken come on ABC over here.
Yeah,
in the game. It made me think about it because I always tell the boys, you the one who introduced me to hockey. I ain't know nothing about hockey. Tell you and Mario Lemieux.
Now when I watch hockey now, I don't watch till playoff time because that's when hockey is worth watching.
I've been watching the Kraken because they knew, and I just been wanting to see, you know.
But they actually, for an expansion team, they actually are a good team. You know, because they did what they did with Las Vegas. You know, they made sure they had good players to choose from in the beginning, so it helped them get to where they need to be. But the Hurricanes have consistently. The only thing that has hurt about the Hurricanes is we hadn't been able to see them because of the fact how this regional sports channel thing is went. No regular channels have picked up the Hurricanes, where we can get the Hornets, we can get the Braves now. Okay. Nobody's showing the Hurricanes. So but playoff time, they're probably about a month away from playoff time. So it'll be the best time to watch hockey. To see you have to get into hockey. Hockey is an acquired thing, but it's one of the most vicious sports out there. And nobody pays that any attention until, you know, you doing 50, 60 miles an hour on skates, yo.
Well, we're saying, I wish you would.
Yeah.
You know,
but you know, it's more brothers play now than when back in the day when I first started watching.
I know.
And I mean, these cats is good. You know, it's good.
Hey, tell the babies I say what up, man.
All right, bro.
All right. All my babies.
I got you.
All my babies. Yeah,
for sure.
All right, fools. I'll catch y'all in a couple of weeks.
Take it easy.
All right, then.
All right.